Hello there, my name is Georgiou and I'm a voice physiotherapist. This video is about what is muscle tension dysphonia. I get lots of people asking me, what is it? What's wrong with me? And I would like to tell you, please stop worrying, but really do something about it. So go to a physio and treat it. For me, the term muscle tension dysphonia is a quite limited term, but I'm going to talk about this on another video. Now let's analyze the words muscle tension dysphonia, and let's start with the last word, dysphonia. Dysphonia basically means a difficulty in voice. It is a Greek word. And let's talk about what muscle tension is. I would like you to think your muscles as my hair. So when you get a tensed muscle, or if you've heard the word spasm in my muscles, it literally means that you get a knot, a little knot. So think of a knot in my hair. The same thing happens in my muscles. And I'm sure you have all felt little knots on your upper traps. So that happens, the same thing happens in all the muscles that surround your larynx. And these are, for instance, your sternocleidomastoid. It's a very important muscle. And this is the one, your scalenes, and a lot of others. Now, what happens basically is if you get a knot in a muscle, that muscle does not have the same power anymore. It cannot move freely in its space, so it doesn't have the same elasticity. And what does this have to do with voice, really? I would like you to think your muscles as in chains, so nothing in our body rests on its own. It's interconnected and it forms huge chains anteriorly, posteriorly, and sideways in our bodies. So the way it's interconnected, I would like you to think of many muscles that arise from our head and go down our body, down to our toes, connected and surrounded by a membrane that's called fascia. Fascia is a very important network. It's a 3D network that covers absolutely everything in our body. It's a richly innervated membrane, which means that it can send signals to our brains and inform our brain about the state of the muscle. This is one. Secondly, what it does is it transfers the load. So if I lift something quite heavy, through the chain, the muscle chain and the fascial membranes, the load is transferred throughout my body, so my biceps, for instance, won't get injured. But what happens with voice, really? So when you have overuse, or not a proper technique, or if you shout a lot, or if you're quite kyphotic throughout your day, or if you lift heavy stuff, or if you sing in a seated position, or you get your microphone somewhere over here, and you've got an instrument as well, or you play the keyboard and you sit like that, that chain becomes shortened. And talking about our voice, what we usually see is muscle knots, so little knots in those muscles. So this is what is muscle tension dysphonia. It's actually tension, little knots in our muscles that are related to the production of our voice. So if you get little knots in the surrounding muscles of the larynx, what basically happens is the biomechanics of the larynx changes. So the freedom of the movement, so imagine your larynx should be as free as an elevator to go down to the first floor and up to the seventh floor freely. But if you get on each floor little knots, the movement of the larynx is not as free. And you get symptoms like hoarse voice, cracky voice. People say, I get tired too quickly. I go to a coffee shop and I cannot order my coffee because it's too loud and nobody can hear me. Or we get swallowing problems. People usually say that there is something in my larynx and I cannot get rid of it. I'm trying to swallow it and it's always there. Or I'm coughing, I'm doing and it's always there. There is nothing there. There is actually tension from the surrounding muscles of the larynx. So imagine this is your larynx and these are the surrounding muscles. Those two should have this nice relationship between them. But if you get muscle tension, the surrounding muscles do that to your larynx. And this is when we get the voice symptoms. There is nothing to worry about, but if you're a professional singer or an actor or a teacher or a lawyer, that your voice is your tool, you really need to get somebody to see that. Don't let pain stay in your body, because if you let pain stay in your body for more than a month or 2 months, that becomes the natural behavior of your muscles. And the brain thinks that those muscles, for instance, with a knot, should be in pain. And the brain thinks really can't do anything about it, or your immune system cannot change the state. There's nothing to worry about, but go and treat it. Bye for now.